Hello, hello. Great to see Randi Jo here with us today. Thank you, Randi Jo, for agreeing to do this with me.
Welcome. I'm a pleasure here. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm so excited for this conversation. This is, I think, sixth or seventh conversation that I'm doing in this series. And essentially, the purpose of these conversations, which either you're listening to it on my podcast, YouTube channel, or somewhere else on social media, the purpose of this is to help you understand, why do people get coaching? Why do they even think about going into coaching? What do they get out of it tangibly? And why do they invest money, time, and effort into it? Because a lot of people don't know what coaching is, and a lot of what they might think they know is not really what coaching is. And so part of it is I'm also educating what coaching is, because it's a fairly new field out in the world, and there are different ways of approaching things, and a lot of people might not know that this is the kind of support that's available to them. Many people are aware of therapy these days. They're aware of mental health from a therapy standpoint, but they don't know that coaching might be an avenue for them to move forward and gain results faster in their life, whether that's related to their well-being, that's related to their relationships, that's related to their finances, that's related to their general life strategy and vision. They can actually get support that way. And these conversations will help you understand directly from my clients, what are they getting out of it? Why are they investing their time, effort, money into this process? And also, these conversations tend to be pretty profound because we both realize amazing things. And I don't know what I'm going to ask, to be honest. And Randi Jo doesn't know what I'm going to ask. I'm just going to jump into the conversation. I want this to be an authentic, raw conversation about what has coaching done for Randi Jo. So we'll get this started. Randi Jo, why don't you just share a little bit about yourself, and what do you do for a living? What is your vision for your life? What are you trying to create? What are you trying to contribute? And then we'll go into the next phase of this.
Okay. A little bit about me is I work for the state of Colorado, and I've been a probation officer for 19 years, serving people that have coming across the law in a negative way, but helping them to find hope again. And that is kind of where it led me to be a certified life coach since 2013. If I can help my clients at work, so why can't I help others in the community that I work in? So I'm really excited about that. With the coaching piece of it, at first it's like, oh, I'm a coach, I should know it all. I don't know it all. I never have. So that's when I reached out for a coach to coach me, for Faisal. I've worked with a couple different ones, but about 3 years ago, we had started a program with real estate investing through Rod Cleef, and Faisal was my coach on there. And so he was more of a mentor for me. And it's like, wow, I get what he's asking, the right questions and what I needed to hear. And so I was really excited to work with Faisal for a couple of years. I think it's been almost 2.5 years, or a little less than that. And just the questions you've asked has helped me to build more confidence in what I'm doing and that I'm doing the right thing. Because sometimes you ask, it's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? And that's kind of where I've led up to in the coaching piece of it and getting help for myself. And I really have enjoyed this journey, even though it's scary at times. The fear we face, it's like, oh my gosh. And like I tell my clients at work, it's like, usually about 90% of the time on the other side of fear is that rainbow you've been looking for. So that's kind of what I have to still tell myself too. It's like coach myself internally, but also have a coach to help me.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And there are a couple of things in there. First of all, I love what you said, that as a coach, we need to be coached. We don't know everything, including me. And that's actually I have a mastermind, Randi Jo knows this, she was part of it for a little bit, coaching master community. One of the things that we values that we uphold is that a coach needs to get coached, because coaches are not experts in the sense that, hey, you should do this. They're more guides based on the experiences that they've gone through and based on the process that they've learned to help you navigate your world better. And that actually requires them experientially to do their work, their internal work. This is not just intellectual learning, which might be normal to, let's say, somebody who's a trainer. A trainer can learn a bunch of topics and they can train you on it, but coaches are different in the sense that they have gone through a life where they have challenged themselves to go through certain challenges and learn better to create better systems in their life, a better vision for life, better process. Doesn't mean they have their life perfect, doesn't even mean that they don't have struggles. It just means that they have gone towards life head on and they're consistently dealing with things, and then they have gotten trained in a process to help you navigate your life better. And so in that process, they're just like any other human being and they're learning this stuff. But when you get coached in the process, just like every human being has a blind spot, they deal with their blind spots as well, so they are not projecting those negative sides of themselves onto their clients. And also the other side of it is, and this is one of the most common things that I've heard, is usually clients come to me because they're part of a general program. And for you, it was a real estate investing program that you were a part of, that you got exposed to. And I'm going to guess it was at a group and one-on-one level, right? It was a small part of one-on-one, but there was generally group.
Correct. The one-on-one really lit my fire. It's like, okay, he can read. I don't know if he could read me or not. And my husband, we did it together. So it was kind of cool. It's like, oh, he was asking the right questions. And I learned a lot more about my husband, what he wanted too, when you ask the right questions, because communication, with your sibling, I'm not sibling, but your spouse, usually you don't know what questions to ask. But when someone from outside asks those questions, it helps too, to like, oh, okay, this is what they want. These are their goals. And then they also can hear my goals. I guess you can be like the mediator in a way. So it's kind of cool having that coaching session as well.
Yeah. And then that's usually people go towards coaching because they get exposed to it because they're part of something else. And the reason why coaching was a part of this investing program is because the person who created it, he knew the value of coaching to help you get unstuck in certain areas, whether that's in your relationship or in terms of your mindset around money or investing or your goal setting, all sorts of stuff. And that's where a lot of people find out. And a lot of other people outside of those programs, they have no idea that this kind of support is available to them. That's part of the reason why we're having this conversation. And you already described that you jumped in because you got exposed to me and I asked certain questions that directed your mind better and it helped you feel more confident as you move forward. So at some point you jumped into my program, and if I know correctly, that was group program with some one-on-one coaching involved initially, and then you went more towards one-on-one. So what made you want to jump into the group coaching program that was part of it was mostly group coaching in a small community setting?
I would say being in the group setting, it was so much easier to see, to say that this was, a lot of more real estate investors. And so it's kind of nice to say, okay, I'm around like-minded people. And they say the 5 people you surround yourself with, that's who you become. Yeah. And it's like, okay, if I really want to get into real estate investing, I need to surround myself with these kind of people too. And then have you as the coach to help us and ask those questions and those visions that you had. The vision board is the first one I ever did with you. And it's like, wow, this is really where I see myself. And just thinking, okay, where do I see myself even in 5 years from now? It was amazing to say, it is possible. I'm not going to stay here in my career till I'm 65, like statistics show. Retire from that, then you can just go to the beach and whatever you want to do. But no, there's more than to retirement than just working that career and then just living off your pension. So that's where I really got into it with the real estate piece of it, and being surrounded with like-minded people. I was really excited. And then those people and I became friends and we could work together too. So I think you being the host, I guess you could say, that, the person, the coach, the host, whatever it was at that time. And then we would break off into individual one-on-one sessions where we could dive deeper, which helped me a lot too.
Yeah. So what I hear there is that, and this is an important piece, especially if you're trying to create something that is difficult, that is new, it is a transition you're going through. A lot of people go through transitions and a lot of times they feel alone in that transition period, whether that's building a new business or going on the investing path. A lot of my clients are multifamily investors, or they're transitioning out of their job, or they're transitioning within their life and their relationships. It actually feels like a lonely process when you're kind of dealing with it every day in, day out on your own. Even if you have family and friends around you, even if you have a supportive spouse. A lot of times I ask this question from it really catches people off guard. It's like, when people talk about their spouse, a lot of times they take the role of a coach. At least one of them do. They try to help them in other ways beyond being a partner. So they kind of feel responsible for them to move forward. And a lot of times I'll say, it's like, it sounds like you're trying to be a coach for your spouse. As soon as I say that, it just hits them. It's like, yeah. I'm like, what does that feel like? A lot of times it kind of feels like a burden. It's like they're taking that on, even though they don't feel competent enough to move them forward. And they don't even know that that's a separate role than a spouse, than a partner who's there to listen to them, to support them, to connect with them, to cheer them on, versus trying to help solve their challenges. And so it becomes important that when people are going through these transitions, do they have a community? Do they have a coach? Do they have a support that can help them? Especially if it's going to accelerate their path on that journey. And that's one of the reasons why I created a community with entrepreneurs and investors, multifamily investors, who come together, and they don't necessarily talk about the technical aspects of what they're doing. A lot of times we're going much deeper, like Randi Jo talked about. We're going into their vision. What does their long-term life look like? What does their strategy look like towards there? How are they dealing with the challenges in their day-to-day life? How are they refining their habits? And we go into a process of getting them to think about deeper in their life. And as they hear these other people who are on a very similar journey as them, they feel lighter. They're like, holy shit, I'm not the only one. And I feel like I'm supported by this community of people. Would you say that's accurate in your experience?
Definitely. And I think I've got some lifelong friends too that I've met, even though I haven't seen them face to face, but on virtual and on social media. And they're supporting me too. They're cheering me on. So when I post stuff on Facebook or social media, they're there to cheer me on. And that's what's made me feel good, because in the community that I'm in, people don't know much about real estate. So what they don't know, they don't know. And it's like, I appreciate the community you've created in the real estate realm, and whether it is real estate or maybe it isn't, maybe it's into something else, overall, you're letting us be ourselves. And like you said, authentic, and tell our story, because everybody does have a story, to tell and to share. And I think just being able to continue to encourage others to, I know you always said the thing to me, it's like, I want them to follow me, my friends to follow. But you say, you've taught me, it's like, how many people can go through that doorway? It may be just you, but they can come behind you, but you can't go through at the same time. And I think you setting the pathway to by example of what there is out there with the real estate, I think that really gave me a light bulb, Faisal, when you told me that I have to be the first to go through if it's something I want to fulfill.
I love that. I remember that conversation. Thank you for sharing that. I love that all these memories are coming back as we're talking. And you also shared, so help us understand the difference between the group setting. And then you said that so part of the group setting program was that I usually offer 1 or 2 sessions as a bonus program. These are one-on-one deep dive sessions. So the group setting is helping you understand your path better. It's clarifying some things. It's helping you deal with some of the challenges, and it's helping you connect with other members whose perspectives are helping you as well. Then what happens in the one-on-one sessions? What happened there?
I was able to dive deeper and ask more questions that I had probably in the group setting. We don't have, maybe I don't feel confident to ask, or what are your thoughts? What can I do? It's like, I like it that you're able to help us with timelines. When do you want to do this? Set it up, take an action plan, all that, more one-on-one. Where in group, you just say, okay, this is what we're going to do, which is great. But I think when we come down to our individual, it's like, okay, it's just, I guess it's more geared toward me versus the whole group. And that helps me a lot to process it more. Not that I don't process in group, but when we come for the one-on-one, there's more questions I can ask you to, how can I do this to go forward? Instead of 2 steps back, how can I go forward and take action and apply that?
And I want to clarify a couple of things in here. So now there were a couple of roles that we did. We did group coaching and one-on-one coaching, but also there was part of our coaching was consultative too, because I also helped you with your business. I want to separate that a little bit. And that part is more consulting and was mixed with coaching, but because that's what I do as part of my other business, I train other coaches and I have background experience in that area. So I was helping you move that forward. There was advice in relation to that specific, and sometimes you can mix coaching and consulting. And so, for example, I have a business certification where I bring in coaching and then bring in consulting into it. That fast tracks the process in relation to a specific business. But coaching is a little bit different in the sense that a lot of it is that I'm getting you to understand your path forward and you're realizing things and you're making commitments based on your own realizations. Consulting is when I come in with a specific knowledge around, hey, for you to build, for example, a coaching business, you need to be able to reach out to this many people to get this many clients and so on and so forth. So there's some background data around that and experience around that. Would you say that differentiation is accurate?
Definitely it is. And it helped me to quit procrastinating on getting my website up and running too, which was nice at consulting that part of it. It really helped me too on that part.
Awesome. So let's now, and at some point you also transition into doing more one-on-one coaching with me. Now I'm going to go in more into like, what were the specific tangible differences that you saw in your path, but why did you decide to go from more group to one-on-one at some point?
The group, I felt that I had got enough, not enough, but it was like, it built my confidence more to do the one-on-one because I knew that this is something I want to go forward in, and also to coach others too, whether it be in the real estate as well. And working more one-on-one, that helped me to see what I want to say, work on a program I can offer as well. And your techniques that you taught me also is helping. What I've learned from you is helped me even in my immediate career. It's helped me tremendously to coach my clients that I have in my career right now. And so that has really helped my community. I'm looking at it as a ripple effect. Yeah. So what you've taught me one-on-one, I've also shared with my clients with probation officer clients, even probation officers too. And it's like, if we can help these people with the right questions to ask, they in turn will help their own families in the community in the more ripple effect, whether it be with the clients or the probation officers that I work with. It's amazing what it has helped me to build my leadership skills in my career right now. Even the last 3 years has really helped boost my leadership skills. And I feel more confident, even though I was a PO 15 years prior. It's just like, this has just been the springboard for me. So the legacy that I want to leave.
I love that. That's so awesome. And by the way, for anybody that's listening to this, one of the most important skill sets is your ability to lead. Whether those are ability to lead within your team, lead within your home, lead within your organization, whatever role you have. Most leaders that I've talked to, hundreds of my clients, they kind of go into that role as like somebody promotes them into that, or they fill in a role of somebody else who just moved off. They don't actually have any formal training, or they don't actually have anything. They might go through a small short-term training around that role, but leadership is usually different from that specific role. It means, do you have the ability to motivate, inspire others? Do you have the ability to connect with and empathize others? Do you have the ability to support people to go towards a common vision, common path? You have the ability to bring people together to go towards something common. And that is probably one of the most important skill sets within any team, within any organization, within your home, which coaching deals with a lot, because leadership actually starts with self-leadership. As we kind of develop more confidence internally, we learn to lead ourselves in a specific direction. It actually slowly starts to translate in how we lead others. And this is not like the kind of leadership, well, do as I say. It's more the kind of leadership as, how can we work together to move this forward? And we have a term for that. It's a model for leadership style, servant leadership. And that generally helps people move forward. Now, would you say that has been your experience where it has helped you connect better and lead people better in that way?
Oh, most definitely. And especially in my career, it's helped a lot in me taking on the role of starting big, like the wellness fair we had to do. And I was the chair of the wellness committee, and I was able to get all these resources together I had team people help me, but I was a leader, pretty much the song leader of the pack, I guess you could say, but I was a leader to help, okay, encourage them to reach out to people to bring this wellness fair together as one. There was only 5 of us and there's 160 people POs, but only 5 of us within the department brought this together, which was great. And it was a success. And people wanting to come back next year and talking about the people we brought in as guest speakers locally is this like, that has built my confidence. I can do this. It's like, oh no, I don't want to step back and wait, but no, I'm going forward. It's helped me to become a doer and to do more. So, and that's what I've really enjoyed a lot about working with a coach. It has just opened up my eyes, even though I'm older. And I know you always said, it's like, it's happening for you now for a reason. And it's not like because you at 30, you should know it all, or 40, you're learning every day. And so that's what I appreciate about the coaching piece too.
Yeah, I love that. And I really want to celebrate you because I mean, coaching, being in conversation with a coach is one thing, but actually taking it and applying it into your life, within your team, within the work that you do, that takes an immense amount of courage and planning and energy and effort. You're the one who needs to do that work, and you did that, and I really want to celebrate you on that. And I'm really excited because now, like you said, it's creating a bigger ripple effect, and we're all part of that ripple effect that's in. And I feel good that you as a leader are going out there. And I remember having I was like, Randi Jo, you need to be out there. You need to be doing more things. And now I can see you like putting yourself out there. And also, I know you're putting yourself out there as a coach more as well. How did coaching help you do that more on that path?
What really helped me was, for me, it's like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Is this right for me? But also, what if this person talks negative about what I'm doing? And I think putting those blinders on, this is for me. I can't control what their thoughts are. All I can do is control in what I want to do and what passion that I have and what I want to share with others. And I think that had a lot with the social media is really scary. When you first do a Facebook Live for the first time, it's like Faisal would say, do it, just go forward. Don't even think about it. It will come natural. And I did do that. And then some workshops that I've done too, working with women over 50 that are close to retirement. And that's where I'm really thriving, because financial freedom, there's only so much we have coming from our pensions if we're lucky to have a pension in our careers. And so it's kind of nice just to have different options too. And I think, just like you said, just get out there, do it. You were in the back of my mind all the time. Do it, Randi, do it.
I love that. And thank you for sharing that. So, I mean, the way you're describing is so simple, but I remember going back, we had multiple conversations. We went deeper into what were the reasons around what was holding you back, what was stopping you on that path, what would happen if you move forward, what were some of the hesitations. This is all normal for every human being. And also there's the challenge piece of, okay, once you come up with, this is going to serve me to move forward, then, and then this is the big differentiation. Coaches never tell people what to do. There is a big piece of challenge involved that, hey, this is what you're saying is going to move your life, your contribution, your family forward. What do you think is going to move you forward in this area? And usually the commitment is made by the client, and coaches challenge that. And that's what helps clients move forward. Now, that might happen in 2 conversations, 1 conversation, or 6 conversations. We don't know. Now, and it's very simple for us to say, oh, okay, well, because it didn't happen in that 1 conversation. Actually, not even just in those 6 conversations, you had a lot of time to reflect and try things, and some things worked, some things didn't. Would you say that that development is accurate, that it took a little bit of time, but a lot of those reflections and commitments and challenges helped you consistently and slowly build on that and move forward?
Most definitely. What really is like, I make those commitments, but if it was a failure, I would do it again. And I guess I wouldn't look at it as well, as you fail, you have to move forward, right? Sometimes it is, you go 2 steps back to get that first step up. And I look at, a lot of people that do fail, but they brush themselves up and get up again and try it over again. And I think that's how you grow as a person, is the more times you fall, the more it's better you do it differently. There's more opportunity to tweak it differently and to apply it. And it did take me a little bit. It's like just that little hesitant. It's like, okay, especially with the career I'm in right now. It's like, I don't want people to know what I do, and it's like getting out there. And like my husband always says, you're scared of your own shadow. And it's like, I guess you're right. In a way I am. So, him having that support to encourage me to do more than labeling me what I am. So I wear many hats, and that's what I'm very happy to figure out, that I wear so many hats. And I want to share that with others, in the coaching has helped that way too.
Yeah, I love that. And I can sense your confidence right now as you're sharing. I remember the Randi Jo from a year ago and Randi Jo now. So what I used to see was more hesitation and more like, oh, what if I do this, this happens? What if I do that, this happens? And usually as a coach, whether you're with your clients or I'm with your clients, like, you don't know how long somebody's journey is going to take. Everybody's different. We know that coaching accelerates your path. Everybody's different on their path based on where they are, and everybody's situation is so unique. And that's why failure is not a judgment thing. Failure is just you're learning on that path and growing. But now I see more passion. I see more confidence. Now I see more conviction, which completely shows up very differently. And those are some of the things you've shared. Is there's more confidence that has developed. There's more of a role as a leader that has developed. You've become more of a doer. And how do you feel about all that?
I love it. I just feel like I wake up every morning earlier than I used to. It's just like, okay, what's for today? What's the challenge today? What can I solve today? That's the kind of excitement I have and looking forward to.
It makes me excited, Randi Jo.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So other than those areas of becoming a doer, generally leadership and confidence, what are some other areas in your life, whether it's in your personal growth, spiritual growth, mental, emotional, physical, also your relationships or your business? What are some other areas in those categories that coaching has helped you?
Definitely my career. Now that I look back at it, it's helped me my career wise. We're not taught this stuff at all in our career. It was like they did come across maybe a couple years ago to have a coach, but our coaches are our managers, and they're kind of coach, but they're not. And I think
more like mentors, I would
mentors, guess. Yeah, they are. And I think having outside a coach that helps me here, I can bring that to my career. It's also helped me with the real estate piece too. It's like getting out networking more. And especially when I want to invest in real estate and I want to learn more things. I'm not saying that, how do I want to put it nicely? It's like not bragging about myself, but when I go to networks, people know who I am. Yeah. And that's what's nice. It's like, I'm not in the shadows, I'm out there. And it's nice getting little posts on social media saying, oh, she'd be a good one to talk to, or a good one on a podcast, or whatever it is. It just like, it warms my heart. It's like, oh my gosh, this person's helping me, so then I can pay it forward to help someone else. And that's kind of where I'm at. It's helped me grow a lot in what I know I don't want. I don't want to settle. I want to learn as much as I can while I'm on this earth.
Yeah, I love that. And so also you're building your business as a coach as well. And also whoever's listening to this, if you feel aligned with Randi Jo, I definitely encourage you to connect with her, because not only does she bring her experience as a probation officer, because her role was a coach, and in that role, she had to help people move through a lot of very challenging situations, but also leveraging that experience, getting training as a coach and being in her role as a leader can really support you. So if you feel aligned with her, definitely connect with her. She'll share her contact soon. But how has coaching helped you kind of put yourself out there as a coach, which I know was a big hesitation in the beginning?
It has really, I guess, just throw it out there. It's kind of like just fishing, you can't get a fish the right time at this right away. You got to keep throwing that line out there and to see you're going to catch. And is it worth, I'm just really excited about who I run into, or resources, everything that I have. Like I've had even one person I just met said, I think you're going to be a good fit. I'm going to have this girl reach out to you because I think you're going to be a good fit. I know many people in the real estate realm, but I feel that you guys would align and you'd be more of a mentor for her. She's like 20 years younger, but she wants to learn the ropes as investing. And said, well, I appreciate you reaching out to me and inviting me to speak to her too. So it's just that kind of stuff, that confidence that I can go into a room of networking and this is who I am. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. It's not going to be like, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. But it's okay to go forward and try it again. Try it again. Because there's nothing to lose because you're trying.
Yeah, I love that. And so for those who are listening, if you're building any kind of business or whether you're in the real estate world or you're in the coaching world or you're building any kind of business, one of the hardest things is actually getting enough people that would support your brand, your product, people who would promote what you offer. And so one of the first steps in there is like, are you actually known? Are people connecting with you, like Randi Jo said, you're in the shadows. If you're in the shadows or your product is in the shadows, more than likely your business is not doing well. But once you start to develop the confidence and competence to go out there and other people are recommending you, that translates to revenue, that translates to business, that translates to freedom in terms of your resources. And if you do it right, freedom in terms of your time as well. I'm also curious on the personal side, because I know we've had many conversations. You don't need to share any details, share what you feel comfortable with, but has the coaching helped you in terms of either the emotional side of things, the spiritual side of things, or within your relationships in your home and other places?
It really has helped me a lot to realize what I can control and what I can't control. When it comes to family, yes, there's a lot. As a child of an alcoholic, it was, and it's hard. I guess my folks, they worked hard and brings emotions to me as well.
Okay.
They're both gone. And so I want to leave a legacy that they started to do. And they were caregivers. My dad was a firefighter. My mom was a nurse. And they worked, they both passed away at a young age. And I think it had a lot to do with stress and not being able to enjoy their own retirement. So it's kind of like, I want to build upon what their passion was, which is giving back to the community. So my husband and I have started a nonprofit called Perfectly Imperfect. We'll be helping with people 55 plus find affordable housing, whether it's affordable housing or if it's something like they're in a donut hole where you can't have enough funds to pay to even get a shower, like a stool for your shower, something like that we can do. So we're working on helping them to match that gap of whatever they're getting for their Social Security, and then also ways to live, even if it's maybe we could pay a couple months of rent for them. So it's in the works right now. So this is going to be Perfectly Imperfect. It's based off of my parents, what they wanted to do. I'm filling that legacy for them. So yeah.
That is so incredible. Thank you for sharing your heart with us. And if you have not connected with Randi Jo, you definitely need to, because she's doing amazing things. And that was one of the things that I really loved from the beginning. And I saw that heart in Randi Jo. And I knew that she's the kind of leader who is going to go out there and support others and really actually make a difference. And that's one of the things that I get really excited about. Whenever I see her post that she sees me and I'm like, I'm so excited. Like, and I remember the time when we'd be like, Randi Jo, so what are you going to do next? I'm going to post, and there would be hesitation. But now she's like excited. She's jumping in. She's doing all that stuff. And it's connected to a bigger purpose. It's connected to a legacy. It's connected to a vision. And that's a huge part of the coaching process to help you get clarified. And I know we've had many conversations around your folks, and we all experience the negative aspects of our life, positive aspects, but I love that you're leveraging that, like the memory and the dream and the connection with your folks, no matter how imperfect they were, just like everybody's parents are. You're moving something forward positively in their memory and in the way that she would want you to move forward. And I know they'd be proud of you. if they were here.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly proud of you for doing all the things that you're doing. And I just want to share this for everyone who's listening. If you have a bigger vision, if you have a bigger goal in your life, if you have a legacy that you're going towards, whether you're a real estate investor or an entrepreneur or a coach, now coaching is for you. If you're dealing with a transition, if you're going through a challenging period in your life, or you're struggling to scale your business, or you're struggling in your role as a leader, coaching is for you. If you're struggling within your home, with your family, with how you feel, with how you connect with those around you, coaching is for you. And that also means that we as coaches, we get other coaches for that reason, because generally speaking, human beings need support, and coaching is a powerful way for you to get results faster, for you to move through the challenges, for you not to feel alone, for you to get cheered on, supported, challenged, and dig deeper to understand what really truly matters to you. And as a coach, we can do that for you. And I'm saying we, because Randi Jo is a coach as well. And like I mentioned at the beginning, you can see her heart is in this process. If you're somebody who feels aligned with Randi Jo or with me, please reach out to us, because usually coaches will take you through a process to help you understand what it is and just experience it and decide for yourself whether it's the right kind of support for you. First of all, I want to thank you, Randi Jo, again for showing up here and sharing this so authentically. And I never know what to expect here, and it always fills my heart. And please share, where can people find you, and what are the areas that they can seek support from you?
My best place is LinkedIn at Randi Jo Pieper is my best place there too. So, or findingyourblissllc.com is my website.
Okay.
And yeah, if there's something that I can help or just want to brainstorm with, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help with that too. And stuff.
So just to clarify, who do you specifically help on the real estate investing side and on the coaching side? Or are there any specific people that you work with?
Right now, I'm working with women that are 55 plus that are looking at financial freedom. And is it something that they want to retire early? Or is it something they want to invest in while they're still working on a W-2, like I'm doing right now? So I'm working on that part. But if it's I'm more than happy to talk to anybody. If there's just a question you have, it's like, I'm here to serve as much as I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service out in the world. And if you feel aligned with me, if you're a real estate investor, you're an entrepreneur, you're a multifamily investor who is transitioning out of their job or who's trying to scale their path forward, definitely connect with me. I usually do my intro call just as a bonus, just to see what you're looking for. A lot like Randi Jo, you can find me at Faisal.com. You can actually book a call with me, or you can reach out to me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of those channels. And please do share your insight below this video or podcast, wherever you hear this. Share and like this with anybody that you think needs to hear this, anybody who's a colleague, who's a friend, a family, a business partner who might be stuck or who's trying to grow, but they're hitting a plateau. Coaching might be the thing for you. You might be sitting there trying to rack your brain. I need to help this person, but you might not be the right person, even though you mean well, you cheer them on and everything. They might be stuck in ways that you don't have the skill sets in that area. That doesn't mean that you don't want to support them, but a lot of times we might not have the skill sets in that area. A lot like if somebody has a plumbing issue and you really want to help that person, but you don't know how plumbing actually works, you're gonna try to help them a little bit, but then after a while, it's like, you need a plumber, but you don't know who a coach is. So that's why we were talking about this. So they might actually need a coach, and they don't need to jump into anything. Just they can get on a call with Randi Jo or myself, and they'll figure out whether or not it's the right support for them. So definitely share this with that person. But other than that, thank you for listening to this. Until my next conversation, hope you have an incredible day. Bye.